Hello, this is the first in a set of videos that's going to go through this activity. So let's dive in. Number one, we want to draw a picture of the two special triangles, which should be memorized. So those two special triangles are 45, 45, 90. So we just kind of do this. So we know it's a 45 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree triangle. Now we want to include the lengths on these, and what we remember is that if this angle here is 45 and this angle here is 45, this length and this length must be equal. So we can just set them to 1, and then by using Pythagoras' theorem we'll get root 2. The second triangle that we want to have memorized is our 30, 60, 90. One thing I recommend to all students when they start learning trigonometry is to memorize that the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. And if you remember that, that means you'll remember the opposite is 1 and the hypotenuse is 2. And then again, if you don't remember, you can work this out using Pythagoras' theorem to get a value of root 3 here. So these are two very special triangles. They come up all the time in a lot of work you do. And what we want to use from them is we want to be able to get our exact values for sine, cos, and tan of each of these angles. So I can look right up at this diagram. Sine of 30 is going to give me 1/2, 30, opposite over hypotenuse. Cos of 30 is going to give me root 3/2. And tan of 30 is going to give me, tan is opposite over adjacent, so that's going to give me 1/3. Now some people learn to rationalize the denominator here. And what that means is I'm going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by root 3. And what that's going to do is make the denominator a non-radical. So what we end up getting is root 3/3. So either of these answers are acceptable. This is a nice mathematical technique to know because sometimes in textbooks your answers are given with the denominator being rationalized. So now we want to do 45 degrees. So sine of 45 degrees is 1/√2. We see cos of 45 degrees is going to be 1/√2, which makes sense because since these two angles are equal, these sides are equal, the opposite and adjacent are equal. And tan of 45 degrees is going to be 1/1, which is just 1. Opposite over adjacent. So now we're going to do 60 degrees. So the sine of 60 degrees is the opposite, root 3/2. The cosine of 60 degrees is the adjacent, 1 over the hypotenuse, 2. And the tan of 60 degrees is the opposite, root 3/1. So we just write that as root 3. So you might observe that the sine of 30 degrees is the same as the cos of 60 degrees. And the cos of 30 degrees is the same as the sine of 60 degrees. All sorts of little patterns to observe, and you always want to ask yourself, why are these patterns occurring? Okay, in the next video, we'll work through this question right here. Have a good day.